And welcome back to the Cam Rogers Show. It's about the bottom of the hour on the East Coast, 10:37 Eastern Standard Time. We got Harris Rubenstein.
What's going on, people? How we doing?
You know what that means? Totem pole time.
Woo!
Huh?
Let's do it.
No connectivity issues here, right?
I'm real. See, I'm a person. You can feel
True
me. I'm
human
here.
being.
It's great.
Okay, by the way, real quick follow-up, breaking news. NFL will not punish any of the players in terms of their protests yesterday. So there you go, a little breaking news.
As they shouldn't. That would create a national uproar. I know NASCAR had announced it like they like threatened to fire their crew chiefs or their drivers if they did anything. So different demographics. I'll put it that way. Much different.
Two sides already in big sports. All right, so Harris, we are power ranking. Now, you know I'm a very nostalgic guy.
Yes.
Folks. Like, I still think back to my
I feel
high school days.
That's our generation as a whole, like number one nostalgia.
Take me back, One Tree Hill. There we go. So the best cell phones for their respective era.
Okay.
Right? So we're thinking back, and
it's a great topic.
Of course, James Yoder here, CEO of Chat Sports, has some history with Verizon, so he knows all about cell phones and their respective history. So let's start off with number 5 here, Harris. It's a phone we never knew.
Nope.
But James suggested it. It's the Zach Morris phone, of course. Saved by the Bell. You know that show?
I do know Saved by the Bell. I know Saved by the Bell mostly because people compare me to Screech all the time. Like, whether or not it's true, I don't know.
Oh,
but
boy.
People just constantly say that I'm
Didn't
like
he, stab someone or something?
I really hope he didn't stab someone.
I'm pretty sure he, went into jail. Maybe he's in jail right now for something. Yeah, he's a criminal, dude. I hope you knew that.
No, I didn't. That's a problem. I know. I've seen this phone multiple times. This thing's just like a big brick. It looks like the old car phones.
Yeah.
My dad had a car phone. It's like this big brick, but that's
Wait, so did people actually carry that in their pockets? I mean, you don't know this. But
well, no, they were carrying their briefcase. Remember, this is back when you had the solid
big briefcase.
Yeah, the big rectangle briefcases were like an actual thing.
All right, so there you go. The Zach Morris phone at number 5. Number 4, I was obsessed with getting this phone so badly, Harris. I went on eBay and bought it used.
I gotta say,
the Razor.
How is this so low? How is this only number 4? This phone was everywhere. My mom had this phone for at least a decade. Like, this thing was sturdy, it was fast, it was great calls. This thing was the truth. This thing was like one of the last great
flip phones.
Yeah, flip phones. It probably was the last great flip phone.
It
honestly.
was. I mean, look how sleek and slim it is.
Great.
You know, just slide it into your pocket.
And also, the best thing, by the way, the best thing about every one of these phones, I think, besides the Zach Morris phone, the commercials for these phones were great. Do you remember the commercials for the Razor?
Or was that
it was what it was. It was like this guy in like a ninja costume, and he reared back and he would throw this thing, and all of a sudden, breaking through this piece of glass like a big ninja star is the Razor phone. It looks so cool.
All right, there you go. Number 4, the Razor. Number 3, the iPhone 4S. This is too recent for me, but I guess I'll allow it. I guess this is when the iPhone went mainstream.
Best iPhone pound for pound they ever made. This thing was the truth. Like, the iPhone 3 was fun. The iPhone 5 was great.
Nobody really had the iPhone 3.
No one had the iPhone 3, but the iPhone 4S, as James tells us, when it really hit the mainstream, when everyone started to have an iPhone. I remember having this phone. I loved this thing. This thing was incredible.
It used to be you would have a cell phone and you would have an iPod Touch.
Because
that changed that.
The 3G was so slow, and then 4T came along.
4T.
Before LTE, if you guys remember 4T or 4G, whatever it was called. That's what the iPhone 4 was. That thing was a monster. I love that phone.
All right, iPhone 4S at number 3. How about number 2? I mean, this thing revolutionized the keypad,
yes.
The Sidekick.
This thing made the keypad cool.
Yeah.
Make the keypad cool.
But that thing was very big.
That thing was huge. That thing, when you would try, it was not meant for phone calls. You would take a phone call on this thing and it would literally take up like your entire face. Like, it was a cool phone. I never had a Sidekick. I had the Dare.
Right.
So I kind of went to the other side because I didn't like the big keyboard.
Wasn't the Sidekick a T-Mobile phone only? Like, who had T-Mobile or has T-Mobile?
I currently have T-Mobile right now.
Well,
so throwing some shade there,
I'm sorry, buddy. I mean, but they don't cover a lot of the country.
Unlimited Wi-Fi or unlimited data. Thank you.
Yeah,
but
in like 2 cities.
That's fair. But the Sidekick was a high quality.
So wait,
phone.
did you say that you had one or you didn't have one?
No, I didn't. I had the Dare, where you had the commercials commercial, the girl standing on the side of the building, and it was like, dare you to touch.
By
And
the
she
way,
would like
that
reach
phone was
over and touch
awful.
the phone. It was
How
awful.
many butt dials could you make with that? Like
Oh,
a million?
Oh, man, I was the worst.
Ugh.
And with my big butt, no, it was a problem.
Yeah, I was never a fan of this phone that was just a screen, like a straight screen, touch screen. Like just,
Now all of them are
I guess you're right. But that phone, like, it didn't lock right. I don't know.
They're all screens.
Let's just go to number 1 here. The NV2, 8th grade. Texting on that bad, Larry. Oh, that was fantastic. Like small enough, like not sidekick-like, but also, very usable.
A confession, now that I see the MV2, getting a lot of memories back. That's the phone I used to text my first girlfriend on.
Wow.
I remember the
Go,
keyboards.
Harris, before sliding into the DMs was a thing.
Sliding to the NV2.
Sliding in with the text, maybe an AIM message,
Oh, the AOL message. Oh, wait. Wait, hold on. Before we go on to the full topic, what was your username on AOL?
Okay, it was Money AAA111.
Money AAA1.
I was Mr. Money. I don't know. I just love money. Actually, it was from SpongeBob. It was a SpongeBob joke.
Oh, I love it. It's amazing.
So,
that's great.
Yeah. So, how about you? You got to say it.
Oh, man. Well, all right. Mine was, remember how I told you my gamer tag?
Yeah. It was pretty
Jackhammer5297. That was my username, my gamer tag for everything until I turned like 17, and then it became HG.
And then you finally got a girlfriend.
Then it became HG Rubenstein 1 because
you went back to conservative.
Yeah, I turned into an old person.
All right, so here's the recap here real quick. NV2, Sidekick, iPhone 4S, the Razr number 4, and the Zach Morris phone. If you don't know what that is, look up Saved by the Bell. We want you to weigh in now. What cell phone are we missing? Comment below. I can think of a few. I mean, you mentioned the Dare. How about the Voyager?
The Voyager was a great one. That was a full-on war at that point. I think it was the Voyager versus the
Dare.
I think that was the war, if my memory serves me correctly. We're missing the best phone of all time, though, Cam.
All right, drop it.
We're missing the Juke.
I had that written down. Dude, that thing didn't make any sense.
It was like this tall, but it was like this thin. It like only played music.
It was like a wannabe iPhone, though.
You couldn't text. It was awful. That thing was terrible.
It was like, the purpose of it was like music. Right?
It was like calling people from a pencil.
That's what it was. That's what it was. So, I mean, what about the chocolate, though?
Oh, I had a cherry chocolate.
Of course you had a cherry chocolate.
I had the maroon one. It was really cool. My sister had the strawberry chocolate, which was the pink one. My dad, at one point, had the dark chocolate. But fun fact about my dad with the dark chocolate, he had it for a week and a half, hated it so much that he threw away a fully funky, just threw it in the trash. Just threw it away. I was like, I hate this thing. And he threw it away.
I probably would have done the same thing. I mean,
he thought it was like the worst thing he'd ever used.
Oh, God. So, yeah, please weigh in on what cell phones really strike your nostalgic heart. I know Brett mentioned the Nokia.
The Nokia.
Bar phone.
The legendary unbreakable phone that you could roll over with your car and be fine. See, that's the problem with phones nowadays. It's all the same. It's either a Google phone or an iPhone. That's really all everyone has.
Sean Warnicki chiming in. BlackBerry?
Yes.
Harris?
Oh, I had a BlackBerry. BlackBerries were my stuff. The reason I switched off of them is because they're so addicting. You're on your email all the time. You're playing Brick Breaker. You're texting people. That full keyboard in your it was perfect. That was
another
phone.
butt dial phone, though, right?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. You could find ways to avoid it.
That was a butt text phone.
You could find ways to avoid it, but the BlackBerry was the truth. I love the BlackBerry.
Okay, let's get to Richard Allen Harris here. He's going with the Juke.
Yep.
I just don't get it. Where's the workability in it?
There wasn't
any.
That's why
literally.
I love it because the
it
way
could be a toothpick,
the way you used it is because it had like the little dial. You would have to like spin the dial to like move around the phone. That was so bad.
James Yoder, BlackBerry Curve.
Yes, the BlackBerry Curve. My dad had that phone forever. My dad was like BlackBerry guy from 98 until 2011, and then he finally got on the iPhone bandwagon. Is now addicted, but BlackBerries were the stuff. I loved my BlackBerry. Brick Breaker, greatest phone game of all time. Don't give me your Age of Swords and your War God games and the Brick Breaker. Or like, I don't want it. I want Snake. I want BlackBerry Brick Breaker. Best phone game of all time. #1.